Calorimetry example number 1, it says in an experiment 0.6 grams of propanone, that's C3H8, was completely burned in oxygen or in air. The heat evolved raised the temperature of 100 grams of water, and it raised it by 64.9 degrees C. So it says use this data to calculate the enthalpy of combustion for propane. The specific heat capacity of water is 4.18. Right, so you're given the key word there, the specific heat capacity, and a value of 4.18. So the first thing you need to do is recognise that the only equation that you're going to use AS for that incorporates C is going to be Q is equal to MC delta T. So now you can do some accountancy just down the side here, and you can work out what you've got, what you haven't got. So you're trying to work out the energy change. You're given the C value, you're given the M value of 100 grams, and you're given the change in temperature. Now it's in degrees C, but a change in degrees C is the same as a change in Kelvin, so it's 64.9 Kelvin. So now all we do is just substitute our values in. So Q is going to be equal to 100 times by 4.18 times by 64.9. And we get 2713 joules, okay, rounded. This is the same as 27.13 kilojoules if you want to round it at this point, because we need to change it into kilojoules for the next step. Now the next step, now we know the Q value, we're going to work out the delta H value, and that's equal to the negative of Q that you've just worked out here, and we said it's 27.13 kilojoules, and it's going to divide it by the N. Now N is going to be equal to the number of moles of the fuel burned, so it's going to be 0.6 divided by the MR. So if you remember, M over MR to get the work, to get the number of moles, and it's going to be over 44. So the number of moles of propane that was used is 0.01364 moles. So substitute your values in. We've got negative 27.13 divided by 0.01364, and we get an answer of 1990 kilojoules per mole. So why I've got this up, just want to give a quick tip. When you're doing your calculations, you're not going to get marked down for significant figures. If anything, you need to use as many significant figures as you can, particularly if you can use the memory function on your calculator to keep it as high a number of significant figures as possible. And that way, when you get to the end and you do round the right number of significant figures, it's the most accurate answer.